I'm Holly from Holly's Haunts, and I've been doing this my whole life. I started looking at haunted locations when I was younger than being a teenager. And about a year ago, I set out to do a New Orleans trip, which, in case starting in Tennessee, going all the way down through Mississippi to all these haunted places. I went through all of New Orleans and shot back up to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Okay, so when I'm in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I pulled in that night, and wherever I go, wherever I land, I'm obsessed with this stuff. I mean, I look it up, local folklore, whatever I need to find out what's near me that I can go visit and possibly trespass within a reasonable time. Not late at night, not usually it's in the morning, because if the police do stop me, I'm going to tell them I'm Holly from Holly's Haunt. Check out my website. I'm just going to take pictures. I'm not here to vandalize, and I'm out of here. Well, that morning I looked up Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I found out, there's like a furnace, there's other things, but there was an old abandoned asylum, which is still accessible. So we set out about 9 o'clock in the morning. And what happened was you drive down a driveway. I mean, this driveway is, and no exaggeration, this is about a mile and a half. You see nothing but the woods on side of you. Now, I'm from Southern California. I'm from Los Angeles. So I love this kind of stuff when I'm out in the woods. I mean, there's nothing on the sides of you. And what you come up to is literally this building that is huge. I've never seen an abandoned building this big out in the middle of the woods. And what happened was I was very shocked at first, like, wow, this is huge. I made a couple videos with Snapchat and a couple of my own. Now, I was the first one to go in the building, like I always am. And I was wearing sandals, and I didn't realize how broken up and how do we describe this? Just trash, everything, graffiti everywhere as the walls are coming down. I didn't want to get in there. Now, I had my docs in the car, but I was being lazy, and I was like, I don't want to be here too long and get a ticket in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So I took my camera out, and before I had walked in, I said, hello, and I just panned around, panned back. I hadn't seen anything at the time. I didn't hear anything. Basically, I did that, and I was like, let's go. I don't want to go in there. And I didn't. So I uploaded it to my Facebook page, and immediately I got like 100 comments. Did you see what you just caught? Did you see that? Did you see that? And I didn't. So that's where we're at now that, you've seen the video. I've had a couple friends slow it down who are techies, and it almost looks like a phantom is coming out from around. And then there's like this other thing that pops up on the side. And it's like, what is that? Like, were they just checking me out? I think they were checking me out. Like, who's in our house, And the whole thing behind that is that it was an asylum. And it was a place back in the 1800s where at first, I don't know if you did any of the research, but they were actually helping mentally ill people, where they were like, if you were a blacksmith, you would be a blacksmith there. If you were a farmer, you would be a farmer. And they had lost funding. So they basically locked all these people up in there, and they lost their little skills or their little, what they would do. And that's what happened. And there was slaves that they said were abused there. One of the doctors, he was performing lobotomies and things that, now that we know are not going to help anybody. They made people worse. So I did all a little bit of research on it. I did more research after doing the video, and I was like, those people, whatever that was checking me out. It came around that corner. My boyfriend, he went through afterwards, and he walked in it, and I didn't have a hard hat. There was no one in there. And I'm telling you, it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't hear anything. You could just hear like the birds, but there was nothing there. And it was I didn't want to go in because I didn't want to step on a nail. The reason why I didn't go in is because I was literally being lazy, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to get in there because I'm so far from anything. What if I got hurt? And I'm being older now. Back in my teenage years, I've been like all through that place. But now I was like, I was very cautious about it. But there was no one in there at the time. So no, thrill seekers and paranormal people go out there, but there isn't a whole lot of evidence that has been caught on camera. And I have showed this video to anybody that'll watch it. Like, check this out. What do you think? You know, because I was very skeptic at first. I'm like, what is that? Was that my shadow? I want to go back there and recreate it just to see if I could do it again. I have my website, http hollyshaunts.com. I have a couple podcasts on there. My next podcast is October 6th with the Sixth Sense Society. I do go on there about twice a year and talk about all these ghostly adventures and fun stuff that I get into. And a lot of it's like the architecture. It's not always haunted. It's just really beautiful second empires from the 1800s that are still there and that we can pay the money and go see these places. And I think everybody should go see these places because they're captured in a time still that we can, you know, go in and see the furniture and everything. And that's what I'm really into about it. There's a ghost story, that's the icing on the cake. You know, that's what's really cool about it.